Hey guys, welcome back. So we have some more 15-minute pet portraits. Today's kind of a twofer situation. These are going to be two paintings of the same dog, and they are going to be the same size but very different compositions. So I think this will be a fun video. Show you kind of the things that I do. So here we go with the first one. This is a Labradoodle. His name escapes me right now. We will know that at the end when I put the name in. But basically, this guy recently crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and somebody that I met at Art Walk on this last Friday asked if I could make a couple paintings for her friend, who is the owner of this dog. And so that's what we're doing. It's a Sunday morning, Super Bowl Sunday morning. And I want to get these done so that I can get these to my client and get to the Super Bowl. Should have started with the pen. Forgot about that. But that's okay. The nice thing about these pens, these zebra brush pens that I use, is that it will work on top of this stuff without really any issue. So let's put some details in here. If you guys have seen one of these before, you know I stylize my pet portraits. I like to think pretty heavily, but it doesn't seem that everybody always agrees. They think it's very realistic. But, you know, whatever floats your boat. So we got a little blowout here. Maybe I'm a little too wet to go right back over top immediately. So we'll do other areas and let that all dry just a tad. If you have been following the channel, you'll see that I missed a couple videos recently. Last week I just have been really busy. I had to help my dad with some stuff. I was finishing that big Fastive painting. I didn't really have any time to get to it, but we should be back on schedule now. Actually, I gave that Fastive painting to the guy who had commissioned it and posted about it on my Instagram and Facebook, which you should follow if you don't. And Vastif, the actual guy that the painting is of, he commented on the post about how cool it is, which is pretty sick. I guess he's a little more, I'm not in the EDM community, not really a member. Nothing against it, but I just don't know a lot about it. But I guess he's a little more of a niche creator, still big, like 30,000 followers on Instagram or something. But it's pretty cool to get him to comment on my painting of him. He said it's awesome. He said, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Makes your boy feel good, you know? Okay, so this guy is lined up here. We're going to come back later with some more white pens to get some more details. But let's go ahead and jump back into the pens. So he's a pretty dark brown, very, very chocolatey color. I'm going to put some of my darker shadows in first, just so I kind of know what I'm working with here. So he's not this dark, he's very warm. Like I said, kind of chocolatey. Yeah, like that. And I'm kind of, you see, I'm missing some spots. That's intentional. It'll help me to create some highlights in places that maybe I didn't plan to initially. It'll help to add the texture that I'm looking for. So it's something nice and dark like this, some rich color. I'm gonna have to do a couple layers no matter what I do. That's obviously not an issue. Just go into the painting knowing that that's gonna be the case. I'm also gonna draw some pupils in his eyes here while I have the chance. So when I do pupils on these, I go like that and then just bring them up top. See, they're not perfectly round or anything like that. It's just giving me some pupil shaped marks. His eyes are not very prominent because he is basically the same color as what his eyes would be. Most dogs have brown eyes. Not all of them. So now we're into the detail phase of this painting. Just going to come through, continue to add richness to his coat. He's a little more red in the nose than he is in the body. So I'm going to add some of my kind of yellow, one of my warmer yellows and some red to make an orange that we can put in here. Yeah, perfect. That's just going to help to give me some more accuracy. And here we are. This kind of color is kind of what I want. Sorry, have I been out of focus this whole time? Oh no. It's right in front of my face and I never look at it. So, if you're like me at this point, it looks a little flat, but otherwise pretty good. So, what we're going to want to do is add a background and then some highlights. Let me check to make sure that they didn't request a specific background color really quickly. Okay, I'm back. So his name is Cabo, and they did request a specific color. They want a blue background, so we can do that. I've got my bigger brush here. This kind of size. It's going to help me to get these marks down quicker. And we're going with blue. So blue could mean a lot of things, right? But I assume when somebody asks for a blue background that they want something pretty cobalt. And I have the colors to make that. So we're going to start with a blue like this. This is a little dull, but like anything else in watercolor, we're going to have to layer it just a tad to get it to somewhere that we're happy. So I've got a really rich blue here. It's a little more on the green side, but with that darker, more, not purple, but this is going to sound dumb, but it's not a purple blue, but it is a kind of red blue. And it just makes it, by that I mean, it's kind of more dull and dark, which is perfect for certain circumstances, but not what we're looking for right now. And then I'm going to just add some superfluous strokes, stuff to give it some texture. Okay, so we got to let that dry a little bit before we can write his name in, but I can use this time to add some little bit more marks on his fur before we go and highlight things. I'm gonna put a touch of black into some of my paint here. Just so I can get some nice shadows. So it's really dark here in his eyes. And then we got to cover his nose. But you were worried about that, huh? So there's going to be some white streaks in this section here, but I still want to get some of my colors down. Okay, so you see there's a lot of white still sticking through here. That's not a problem. It's going to help me with the highlights. Give me ideas of where I can and can't add some more marks. We're going to put some of our own new marks in a minute. But let's get the pencils in for his name for now. Cabo, C-A-B-O. And I think I'm going to go right here. So let's do... That's what we're going to do for his name. I'll wait for the paint to dry even a little bit more before I start putting any of this in. But I can kind of check on the dog, and he seems to be pretty good. So let's grab a white pen to start and try to add in some highlights here. So highlights on his eyes is going to bring some life to him. We're going to have some good highlights into his fur. These pens have been giving me problems lately. I've been liking the paint markers instead. These guys, these Poscas, they're just a stronger mark, more expressive, because it's got some texture of its own. I just want to get some of these in front of his eyes. Little highlight streaks in the fur. You see, I'm not really being super intentional here. And these highlights are going to help me to define a fur texture as well. Not really the dark enough background to add a rim light, but I can in some areas where it's really dark. So still looking a little flat. I think I want to go darker in behind the eyes and maybe a little darker on the nose. This is kind of the refining stage here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some purple to my color. That's going to keep me rich. Black has a tendency to kind of kill the life into something like this. But if I go in with a nice purple, it will help me to get my darkness I'm looking for without losing the richness. Just little tricks you learn when you do it for long enough. It's not going to make him look like a purple dog. It's just going to give me some more interesting color. Put that on his nose too. add some streaks in places that need them. So we don't want it to be located in just one area. We want the painting to be a cohesive painting. So we have to kind of meet somewhere in the middle. Not put too much of this color down, but enough of it that it makes sense that it's there. So we can put some of this under his chin, because it'll give us a nice, really dark shadow under his chin. And you see, I'm just kind of doing little C shapes. This is just helping to give me some kind of texture. Okay. There we go. So we'll say this is going to be Cabo number 1. It's like Mambo number 5. Okay, so then when I letter, if I'm going up, I use light pressure. If I'm going down, I use heavy pressure. That just helps to give me a consistent look to my letters. There we go. And we will do a little underline and sign my name. And there we go. There's Cabo number 1. So number 2 probably will be up later this week. And you'll see kind of the difference between this and that. And I bet I will pull these in to compare at the end of the week as well. So we'll get number 1 out of the way. And then I'm going to start number 2, but you won't see that for another couple days. So here we are finished with that first Cabo, and I went ahead and did the second one, which will come up later this week. If you want to watch the process, go ahead and do so. But here is the second painting. You see 2 very different styles. Tune in on Thursday, maybe Saturday, to watch this one getting made as well. But you can see 2 very different styles, but the same dog. And so this was fun to do. I don't normally do things like this detailed and this small of a painting, but I think it turned out really well. This one also very good. This is what my normal paintings look like. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you did enjoy, hit the like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. You know, all the standard YouTube things. It helps the channel out tremendously. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.